Hey everyone, it's Pojo. We had a long night playing the new Tale of Horus Travers. The campaign is great. We're going to put up a video of us playing the campaign pretty soon, but I wanted to just basically pop out with a deck tech as early as possible. And this is the one that we've been fiddling with. It is an update to our Tomorrow Never Dies list. I've got a lot of exciting Horus brews planned and a lot of interesting ideas to play with, but this is the one that's probably the most tuned at the moment, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. So a couple of new cards came out with the Horus Travers that we talked about previously in our spoiler breakdowns, and those are Yetipult and Power Stone. And Yetipult has been behaving extremely well as far as the whole deck goes. Like, I've actually found him to be a really good card. The thing that we tend to miss about, or the thing that I missed about Yetipult when I was talking in the spoilers was I almost thought that the Pace 7 was an ultimate. It is in fact a sort of stun ability that you can use once or twice, basically once every 2 turns. And if you have Endurance, you can use it once every 1 turn, although that's not particularly recommended for this deck. Infinite Hourglass might be something you could stick in here. Really depends on how we feel about permafrosts, but I think overall Yetipult is really interesting. So as a 4-drop, you play it down, you kill some stuff that might be aggroing your face, which is something that you kind of have to do on turn 4. And then also people really don't want to remove this card because it's kind of got bad stats and it kind of did its thing already. Or like maybe they just don't have the right tool for it, and then you draw the 7 cards for it. Or, if you are playing a Tomorrow Never Dies list, you just have 11 power, and you play Yetipult, and you draw 3 cards, and you kill a bunch of stuff, and you get like 4 for 1, 5 for 1 card advantage. That turns out to be really valuable, and like overall, I think that it turns out to be pretty strong in the deck. It does skew the deck more heavily towards blue, which makes it a little bit tricky to run with. I have found a lot of different slots in Tomorrow Never Dies can be interchanged. There's a lot of things that you can play with, but I do like Yetipult in here, and I think he's really improving the quality of the deck in quite meaningful fashion. I've talked about Power Stone a lot. I love Power Stone. I think it is a really solid card, and it definitely helps out Tomorrow Never Dies. It makes Influence a little bit tricky, but you can do things like play Yetipult on 4. You can play Ironthorn on 3 or 4. You can do some really cool things where you just basically get a lot of stuff out earlier, and it doesn't cost you as much in terms of tempo as Secret Pages, which is the alternative to this. Initiative Sands is another thing that you can use, but it tends to get removed a lot or like destroyed in a way, and then you don't actually get the tempo advantage ramp that you're looking for, and it just doesn't feel particularly great in these situations. Power Stone does everything you need and more, so loving this card. We put it as a 4 of in the new Tomorrow deck. And finally we have Vision of Austerity, which I have used to replace the 1 of Decay that usually runs in this deck. Vision of Austerity transforms an enemy relic into an Omen of Austerity, which essentially whatever it is that you transform, your opponent can't play that relic ever again. So basically, as long as Vision of Austerity is out, then your cursed player can't play cards with the forbidden name. I'm a bit sad about this one because it doesn't really function with Mind Link beyond the fact that your opponent can like maybe destroy your first Omen of Austerity and your second Omen of Austerity will be like the backup. But for the most part, like it's still a really solid relic removal card that puts the hate on Chalice and does pretty well when you're playing with Celestial Omen. So love that card. It's been pretty good. Beyond that, we cut out the Combra healers, we moved up on the Lumen defenders, basically trying to capitalize on that life gain and try not to play the Combra healers, which people tend to know how to play around right now. Really depends on the meta for you, but whatever it is you feel like doing in the early game is sort of how you support your late game. So we have 2 games for you, so I'll put those on after this, and after that there won't be a post-mortem because this is just a deck update, and we want to do this one kind of quick because I need to sleep so I can stream and record and make new brews tomorrow. But I was really excited to bring this one to you. I'm really excited about what's to come in Horus Travers, and I hope to see you guys all very soon. So here's the deck list, and have some fun. Alright, so we're up against Cody Tenors, and just actually calling the stream and night at the moment, so we're setting up a couple of games here. Power Stone and Yeti looks pretty interesting. This is probably a pretty good hand. I get to Power Stone into Yeti, so if there's an aggressive setup going on, then we actually get to counter it pretty well. I don't have double green, which is scary, but that's the only thing that's scary about this hand. Oh, I should have played Elysian banner first. Minor error on that part. You want to play the banners out first so that you don't have to get into any trouble with them. Alright. So Power Stone there. Yetipult can be kind of an aggressive attacker here, which is kind of weird. Most of the time I want to play it later, but might be okay here. Alright, we found Seed of Progress, so I'm going to play that for sure. No, we'll play the Yetipult. Alright, Yetis are launched. So Seed of Progress is next. We will see exactly what my opponent's up to. Sandstorm Titan on 4. Okay, so pretty simple, pretty easy way to go about it.
You've run far enough.
Gonna end my turn here. If he wants to kill my Ironthorn, that's fine, but I would prefer that he didn't. We'll see. You running Vanquishes, buddy? Okay, no blocks. So next turn I get to draw 3 cards, which is a pretty good deal. And I think we'll go ahead and do that. Found a Harsh Rule. That's pretty good. I can play a power and then Harsh Rule, and then I can set up Ironthorn and keep going. Or I can play Ironthorn, play some power, like silence some stuff, and try to get to 8 of the Hooru. Either way is pretty good. I kind of like holding on to the Yetipult for a little bit longer, but
safe travels.
It's not strictly necessary. However, Ironthorn will get me up to even power at 10, which means that as long as I keep 1 unit alive...
You've run far enough.
We actually are in excellent shape. So I'll just play a Primal Sigil here. End my turn. All of the stuff gets played. Good stuff. And he's just attacking with these 2. So we'll go ahead and... I'm going to Desert Marshal here.
Escape me.
Should I take 5? That's an interesting question. I think I'm going to just double block here. That'll kill the Endurance unit. So I go to 5. And then I play 2 power, and I 8 of the Hooru. And I can now swing in for a bunch if I want to, which seems like a pretty good idea. Everything of his is stunned. Next turn, if I want to, I can New Tomorrow. I can do a couple of other things.
Your power flows through.
New Tomorrow doesn't look particularly good with this board, so what I'm probably going to go for instead is draw a bunch of cards, Harsh Rule. Yeah, I think I like the option of draw 3 cards, play Elysian Banner, Harsh Rule the board.
This ends now.
And then I can Power Stone. Now, Cody Tenors has a couple of options left, but I think at this point it's pretty close to done. Another Power Stone does not a good board make. And my next turn is New Tomorrow into Great Parliament, which means that I will get a lot of owls. That's also some owls, but I would bet you that I can do more owls than that.
We must rebuild.
So at 25 power, that should be a few owls. And we'll find the way for a Justice. Just to get it out of our hand. Reinarch plays, and in order to get the lethal for this turn, I want a Celestial Omen for a stun effect, specifically 8 of the Hooru. And we'll just knock it out. And that's the basics of how it plays. Alright, so we've got a redraw here where I just basically didn't have a handful of good power, so I went for the power stones instead, and that worked out pretty well. Forgot to do that little part there, but Seed of Order looks good. Seed of Progress allows me to search for more blue, which will allow me to Yetipult, although I might consider playing the power stones first. I think in this instance it's actually better for me to look for the blue first. Oh wait, no, because I have the Primal Sigil, so yeah, the Power Stone was correct. Regardless, we'll Power Stone next turn, and probably Power Stone again, just to get things going. Primal Sigil there. And Power Stone Find the Way is awesome. So is Yetipult if I'm feeling aggressed by a Grenadin army. But looks like we're okay on that front. Find the Way for a bunch more power, and play the Primal. Undepleted would actually have probably been better there. So Yetipult is the big star card here. It's pretty likely to get torched in these instances, but I could do something like Yetipult and then just hold on to it. I'm going to seek power here, grab myself a time or a justice. You want to keep the time and justice even so that you have some amount of them left for Minotaur Ambassador. And beyond that, you're pretty safe. My opponent's playing something slow in Stone Scar. I'm not really sure what he's up to, but he hasn't played anything until turn 5, so... Alright. We got ourselves a bait. He tries to devour it. I think we backlash the devour, but that's about really the only thing that I'm particularly concerned about as far as bait goes. It's very tempting to hit it with the Yeti, but alright, I don't think my opponent even has a sacrifice outlet for it. We'll take the 1 damage. Backlash protects my Ironthorn. And from there, we actually get up pretty close to 8 of the Hooru. I'm at 11 now, which means I can play Yetipult. Yetipult is actually forced to hit bait, which is not great, but I think that's actually kind of an interesting backlash of having Yeti. But I get to draw 3 cards, and I feel pretty comfy that that was the correct decision. So, we'll end my turn. I didn't draw power, which is unfortunate, but I did draw another Yetipult, so I can do the whole Yetipult thing again. And at that point I will be able to Desert Marshal the 7/7 if I need to. Or other things could happen. The Yetipults can go in tandem with each other. I think Ironthorn is interesting here for some purposes, but probably 8 of the Hooru is more important to cast. So we'll go ahead and cast that, draw 4 more cards. And that should stabilize us on board for the foreseeable future. Desert Marshal, another Yetipult, an Elysian banner, and a Seed of Progress. All looking pretty good. I can attack for 12 now, or I can play Yetipults and draw some cards. I can play Ironthorn and get up to even higher amounts of power. And if I get straight into Shadow, I can just repeat the 8 of the Hooru trick and get moving again. Discarded Arena Frogs to overdraw. We will discard as well a Seed of Wisdom, and I think probably another seat. Yeah, another seat seems fine. We're very likely to draw more power in the course of this game. And if we draw into a new tomorrow or anything like that, I think we'll be pretty okay. Marshal Ironthorn gets me up to 15, which is lovely. And I also get the ability to do some other cool stuff, which is to say, now that I'm at 10, I can Desert Marshal the 3/4, which is a pretty good way to keep that dead. I think pushing for damage is a good idea at this point. The 7/3 is kind of threatening, but I have 2 Desert Marshals, and at this point I just want to leverage my advantages before the board gets too gummed up or like some sort of magic bullet gets found. I've already got a huge advantage, so there's no reason not to be lazy. I can be a little bit aggressive in terms of pressure and just use my resources as much as I like because I have infinite amounts of draw to play with. Ironthorn goes down. Not a big surprise there. Desert Marshal here.
Escape me.
Looks good. And then Desert Marshal and the Memory Dredger also.
think you can escape me?
That's good. I didn't end up having to trade 2 for 1 for the Steelbound Dragon, although certainly we don't love that he got card draw out of it. Memory Dredger here is going to be drawn down to the ground, and looks like my opponent didn't really like that, so he's going to go ahead and call it a night. Alright, that's it for us for today, folks. Just a small update on what's going on with the new Tomorrow deck. We also have a Mask of Torment version that I've been trying to fiddle around with and get up to a point where I want to show it off. So we'll be showing that off soon. But right now I have to go to bed and get some sleep. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you next time. Cheers!